O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not 24,000, 20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. It is Hump Day, and we are back. It's good. It's good to be in studio. Second day back in studio. Kind of a little bit, still kind of getting our bearings back. Should be interesting the next 2 weeks because Sean and I will be traveling back to back. So that will be very interesting. And remember, we are going to have, we're going to be broadcasting on next Sunday. We'll be at the River Pub, actually, in Buffalo, in Niagara, actually. Not Buffalo, Niagara. And then the following week, we'll be in Los Angeles. And when we're there for the Rams game on Monday, we'll be broadcasting on Saturday and on Sunday. At two different events also. So we'll have some fun with that. Spoke with John Phillips yesterday. So we'll have some fun broadcasting from his brewery, which is going to be awesome. Jalen Phillips' dad. That'll be on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll be at Sharky's, which there you go. You're seeing all the different billboards there. Sean is putting them up. So looking forward to that. Ira Winderman will join us at 10:30. We'll preview as the Heat open up the season tonight against the Magic at the Kaseya Center. Heat are favored by 2, and the over and under is 208. So we'll see what develops tonight. What happens? What kind of Heat team do we get? What kind of Jimmy Butler do we get? Really, that's what it's all about. What Jimmy Butler do we get is the entire key to everything. So we'll see. We got some some stuff to talk about here on the program. I'm going to have also a Crypto Bro Show right after this. So we'll get Crypto Bro Show back on track. We haven't done it in a couple of days. And there's a bunch of stuff to talk about in the world of crypto too. So I know that Bitcoin's pumping a little bit. It was down at the, the 60, low 66 range, and now it's up to 66, almost 700. So we'll see. It's been screwing around the 67, 69 area. So we'll keep you updated on everything there in the world of crypto and, of course, Bitcoin. So we'll do that in the Crypto Bro Show right after this show. So if you are a crypto person, stay tuned. It's already set to go. When we shut this down, we'll restart the Crypto Bro Show, and we will do our thing on the crypto side. What else do we have going on? Let's see. We've got obviously Tua back at practice today, which is a good thing because it's nice to have a competent quarterback back there. Obviously, durable is a whole different subject, but we'll see what happens now with Tua from here on out. It's still better to watch Tua than watch what the hell we've been watching. That's for sure. So we'll get into Tua's return because there is something key to his return that we have to obviously, talk about. I saw the phoniness yesterday. Does LeBron James, does he sleep at night thinking that last night was legitimate? I'm just wondering. We could lie to ourselves if we want. That doesn't really help. Lying to yourself because you're misleading yourself. But okay. Your son has no business being in the NBA. And last night we're celebrating or trying, whatever you idiots are trying to do, honor, celebrate, whatever. And I didn't watch a second of it, to be quite honest. I don't really give a shit about it. It's manufactured bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Bronny James doesn't even deserve to be in the NBA. And the only reason the Lakers drafted him is so they can re-sign LeBron. It's just, when does Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. need to be brought into this bullshit? Those people earned it. It just the shit that goes on sometimes in this world, and we just let it go by. We just let it go by. Most of us that have common sense and a brain, we know that this is all fake shit. If you follow it, Bronny James would never be even drafted by anybody. The only reason he got drafted is because the Lakers wanted to make LeBron happy. But in the NBA, nobody was drafting his ass. And when he constantly plays, he looks like he doesn't belong there. It's the cheesiest bullshit out there. So if LeBron James wants to, he is hurting his son more than he's helping his son. You know that, right? Like, he's doing something really shitty as a father for his son. You've got to let your kids grow up and earn their keep. And does he lie in bed at night just like his dad, thinking that this is good? That I earned this? That I belong here? I find that I find it disturbing in every way possible. Media that is covering this bullshit, and instead of exposing this bullshit is what they should be doing. Any kind of fan that's following this crap and is believing this, I mean, come on, dude. Seriously. It's just, wow. Sad, dude. Sad. And I in a way I feel bad for Bronny, because if there's any part of him that believes this is legitimate in any way possible, this is a kid that's going to grow up, sure, rich, but delusional. Not the kind of people I want to deal with, to be quite honest. Not the kind of people I have any patience for. Remember how we were screwing around and I was having fun making fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene with, oh, they're controlling the hurricanes and sending them, and then we had like some people on the chat board that even started to entertain it. And it's like, okay, that's it, Yeah, just, I don't have time for morons, that kind of stuff. So we got rid of them right away. If you're a media member, look, I get it. If you're Dave McMenamin, is that the name of the guy, the redheaded guy that follows LeBron around everywhere? Is that his name, Dave McMenamin? Right. And hey, good for him. Bless him, bro. He outkicked his coverage in marriage. I'll tell you that. But if you gotta suck LeBron's ass for a salary throughout your career, which is kind of what he has to do, pretty much. Whatever, I guess you gotta cover this Bronny bullshit, because that's the only way you'll have the LeBron people talk to you or whatever, dude. If that's the way you want to carry your career, you go ahead and do it, bro. You know what I mean? I find this. I'm not the guy that does this kind of company line shit for any money, dude. Does not matter. It's just not the person that I am. It's not why I got into media. I got into media because you could be objective, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? But I find it all over the place that so much of media just sells out. And, shit like that. Like, we should be ripping this whole thing constantly, because this is just not good to sell anything like this. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? So what are you going to do? But just absolute garbage. Braun and Bronny. Steve Chapman is in the house. Number one, NorCal is sparking it up. He says, up in the 305 fan club weekend 2024 is upon us in 48 hours. I will see you guys. I'm in town. I can actually go and visit you guys. So looking forward to it. Jay Gelfin in the house. One-Eyed Jack. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, please. Smash it, smash it. Ray Sosa, Dude 67, Oscar Rojas, Michael Lombardo. Thank you, Michael. Very kind words. Renegade. And he says he smashed the hell out of it. So did Aaron. Dude 67, I'm sure, smashed it. All right. Tua, don't do stupidly costly moves to your body like what happened in the 2 weeks, please. Yes. Like what happened in week 2, please. Let's hope so, Hypersonic. Chris Duquette. 5 of you are slipping. Smash the like button. Let's go. There's 88. There's 36 likes. I'm with Chris. There's a lot of people who they're slipping. They're falling. They can't get up. They're slipping. They're falling. They can't get up. Get back on my feet so I can tear shit up. I hope everyone is having a great week. Remember to smash the like button and fins up, everyone. Tua was salty at his presser. Yes, we talked about it, went over it, so you can watch the show yesterday. We talked about all kinds of things, Tua, that he addressed, and we addressed several of those things. Magic Mark says, as long as McD stays committed to the run, we should be okay. More underneath routes. He panics if the deep ball isn't there. Let's see. What else? I smashed the like button so hard, I think I broke my finger, says Renegade 76. Well, I hope you didn't break your finger, but I'm glad you smashed the like button because we need that. Visit our sponsors. Make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Ryan C. Fins fan. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see. What else? James Vivinetti in the house. Giovanni, Yabba Dabba Doo. Chris Ortiz. Yes, it is good to have Uno back. Yes. Context, tank for Ward. Yeah, there'll be no tanking. If they lose, they just lose because of McDaniel's incompetence. But there'll be no tanking. They can't afford to do any of that. They're not going to be firing anybody. They're not tanking anybody. If anything, they'll try to correct it in the offseason, which I don't know if McDaniel is. I don't think McDaniel can be corrected. Frankie says, I can't knock the Lakers for getting Bronny. The Heat tried the same thing, getting Shabazz Napier for LeBron. As for LeBron doing a disservice to his son, everyone has a different perspective. I don't give a shit about everybody, Frankie. I clean my ass with everybody's perspective. My perspective is he's a shit father. Pretty obvious. Am I being clear here? I don't give a shit about anybody's. This is my show where I give my perspective. I don't give a fuck about anybody else's perspective, to be quite honest. Don't care. But as a father, you're treating your son like a wuss. You need to toughen up your kids so they can, he's going to face real adversity in life. Dad's not going to be able to protect him. So, And as for the Heat trying, how did that work out? Right? As much as I love and will defend Riley and will never say anything for him to go or fire him or anything, but I'm the first guy to tell you, he lost his fastball a long time ago. Long time ago, he lost his fastball. And that move for Shabazz Napier lost his fastball. That's all. It's pretty simple. Can't get a whale anymore. Lost his fastball. That's just the way it is, dude. He hasn't gotten a whale since Shaq. And Riley is God. Today they will name the court after him and all that, and he deserves everything. He deserves to write his way off of the team whenever he wants to leave. But we got to be honest, right? Personnel-wise, lately, it's been very questionable. That's all. We got to call it like we see it, dude. You know, as much as I love the Heat organization, it's a great organization. But like I've been saying for years now, Riley's ass has been saved by Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra gets more out of this team than it should. You know, the re-signing of Whiteside, that was Riley, not Spo. So defending the Lakers' move to get Bronny by using the Shabazz Napier thing, that doesn't justify it, Frankie. It was a stupid-ass move for the Heat, and it's a stupid-ass move for the Lakers. But the Lakers, you know what? At least I'll give the Lakers a break. I won't give the Heat any break. The Lakers had to kiss LeBron's ass to the point that they had to waste a second-round pick on Bronny, which a second-round pick isn't the end of the world to keep your superstar happy. But that you're forced to play the kid, now that's pathetic. That's pathetic. That kid doesn't even belong in the G League. Okay? Bronny James is not good enough to be in the G League. Forget the NBA. So, whatever the Heat did, you know, personnel-wise, that doesn't justify anything. And the Heat, by the way, on the personnel department lately in the last 10 years, whatever, it's not something that you admire anymore. Okay? The only thing you admire is that they can develop decent players off the street outside of that. But they're not making big trades anymore. They're not acquiring big players anymore. They're not doing any of that anymore. You know? They're a nice team that's coached by the best in the business. And that's it. The Houston Texans have signed Devin White to a contract. So I just think it's bogus as hell. Luis is in the house. Is he related to Victor over at the Marlins? Let's see. Big O Sean, I'm worried. It's been about a month now, and my farts have no odor. Oh, that's because the guy sat on the plane, took all your odor. Because that guy dropped a bomb next to me on the flight back. Holy moly. No, on the flight there. I'm sorry. On the flight there. That guy dropped. On the flight back, by the way, I had no one in the middle seat. And the flight to Miami or Fort Lauderdale from Indy was like a flight 30 years ago in the red eye. 30% of the plane was full. There were aisles of seats that were like all three of them were empty. You know, like a whole bunch of them, dude. I hadn't been on a plane like that in a long time. And when because I have the aisle seat, so I normally stand and wait till the two people come in, and then I'll sit down. And so one person came in and sat down in the window seat, and one of the flight attendants goes to me, "Oh, don't worry, that seat is empty." And I'm like, "Oh, all right." So we had the middle seat empty. That's beautiful. When that happens, you hit it big. But I didn't hit it big on the way there, True Fin fan, because that guy dropped a bomb, dude. Ray says, I feel bad for Hundley. He was set up to fail by McDaniel, making him run an offense that comes nowhere near close. I know. Because McDaniel's a bad coach, so he doesn't adjust properly to things. He's a bad coach, dude. It's just the way it is. It's a bad coach. It's a terrible game day coach. One of the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. Adam Pinkser, thank you, sir. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting. Appreciate you and the wife showing up, Adam. A lot of my coworkers here in Indy who Colts fans are dumbfounded. Waddle and Tyreek had no catches Sunday. I tried to explain it to them. Well, we have a terrible coach. We have a terrible coach. That's all. And let me tell you something. The indictment on the owner right now is that your talent is so much better than your record. And I get that you extended him, but I know what's going to happen because I've seen this story before. You're not going to fire him, but you should. You should have fired him already. I mean, who thinks that McDaniel is salvageable at this time? At this point, what Dolphins fan thinks 2.5 seasons in, this guy all of a sudden is going to become a good coach? By the way, is there an example of somebody that was a terrible coach for 2.5 seasons and then became a really good coach? Can you think of somebody that was like really bad and then all of a sudden became a good coach? I'm not sure if I remember that. You know, I can understand if you take over an expansion team, but Flo basically went through the expansion years for you. I don't know if I can remember a guy that was as bad as McDaniel on game day and then all of a sudden became a really good coach. I'm not talking about a guy that maybe had a half-decent season once after being really bad. That could happen to anybody if you get the right players and they mask your deficiencies. Like what Tua does for McDaniel. He masks his deficiencies like Spo does for Riley. Didn't expect that one, did you? Do you think Shaq treats his kids better than LeBron? He tells stories of what seems like proper ethics and morals. Yeah, I got to say, because I don't see Shaq trying to lift his kids to a point where they're not supposed to be at. Shaq's kids are successes or failures on their own. Deion Sanders' kids. Did you see Deion Sanders a couple of weeks ago rip his son for having, you remember, did you see that, Sean? Like 2 games ago, 3 games ago, not Shador, the other one, had a terrible game. And Deion let him have it. Kind of like that, because it's supposed to be worse playing for your father than playing for your coach. If your father is the coach, it's supposed to be a double whammy. That's how it's supposed to be. So that's, by the way, who brought that up? That's a great one, dude. I love that. I love that. I love that comparison. Shaq and Deion compared to LeBron. LeBron is coddling and protecting and uplifting and lying to his kid, whereas Deion Sanders has tough love. And it seems like I don't see Shaq doing that either to his kids. With Deion, at least I have the examples like right in front of me. You know, there's the one kid that's not even into sports, and he just does like social media and photography and all kinds of other stuff. He found his niche. And God bless him. Every job's a great job. Every job in the world's a great job. As long as if you're willing to do it and then choose to be professional at it and be good at it, every job that produces money to support yourself or your family, it's a great job. Should take pride in any job that you have. But That's a great one right there. Great example. Yeah, I'd rather be the Dion and the Shaq than I would the LeBron. Okay? Because that's how I am with my daughter. You know, I am brutally honest about life, about what's going on, about what she needs to do, or I don't coddle shit, dude. I encourage, I love, I support, but I don't coddle. I don't lie. I don't try to set up my daughter for whatever. No. No, there's none of that, dude. The world is too brutal to try to coddle your kids from it. So I kind of like the way my dad taught me to swim, because he was like a fish, pretty much. And I've told this story. I don't know, I think 7, 8 years old or whatever it is. I'm like, hey man, and I go out on the boat with him, and he's what's it called? The spear fishing and skin diving, it's called, because no scuba equipment. It's all snorkel, hold your breath, dive, boom, shoot the fish. And he would like shoot the fish and then pass it through the entire spear and into the rope. And then he'd load it back up again and go back down. And then when he'd come back up, he'd have like 3 or 4 fish on the damn thing. Anyway, so I go, come on, you got to teach me how to swim. And he goes, oh, so you want to learn how to swim? And he pushed me right off the boat in the middle of the ocean. Not a pool, an ocean. And you better start learning how, and he's telling me how to swim right from the boat. Now, he could dive in and save my ass right away with no problem or whatever, but that's the old school way, And so I'm just saying, hey, there's no coddling here. And that's why that's sad to watch that coddling. Let's see. Oh, it was Chris Duquette. There you go. Thank you, Chris. Good question. Captain Saki is in the house in Tarpon Springs. I'm too much of a man to be given anything from anyone, even my father. What I am, what I have, it's all by me. I've worked too hard since I was 15 to let anyone tell me what or how to live my life. Amen. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela, the amazing one, the unoriginal. That they're in a world where we have so many copycats. Fernando Valenzuela was an original, which was so cool. And Fernando Mania, and before things went viral, before we had social media, before we had Facebook, before we had those kind of things, Fernando Valenzuela was what was a social media sensation without social media. And he was a character without even saying a word. It was the way he carried himself. It was the way he pitched, looking up into the sky as he was trying to deliver the ball, which was, how is he not staring at the plate? That kind of stuff. And the stat, he passed away at the age of 63 yesterday. And those of us that lived it back in 81, when he went 13-7 with a 2.48 ERA, and the amazing part, are you ready? 11 complete games. I think I could get 7 baseball teams this season for the entire year and all 7 of their entire pitching staffs, and I will not get 11 complete games. 8 shutouts. Again, I'll get 15 teams in Major League Baseball this year and their entire year stats, and I will not get 8 shutouts. Not going to get it. At 20 years old, he wins the Rookie of the Year, he wins the Cy Young, and the Dodgers win the World Series. So it was Dontrell mania to the 10th power. because Dontrell Mania was fantastic in the regular season. It was nowhere to be found in the postseason. But Fernando was amazing from beginning to end. And then he obviously had a terrific career overall as a pitcher. But one of a kind, dude. A true original, and a true viral moment before viral moments ever existed, because that looking up to the sky and pitching, I could imagine on social media nowadays what they would have done with that. Okay. I mean, I in the Olympics, that one guy from, was it Turkey, the shooter, all the different things they did with him on social media was amazing. I could imagine the things they would have done with Fernando Mania back in the day in today's world. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, let's go. Let's rock and roll. Ira, you lived that viral moment with Fernando Mania, right?
Can't recall anything like it. Can't recall anything like it. How, we always use the term in sports, Big O, force of nature. And he was just a force of nature. He came out of nowhere. He was so endearing with his personality. And it was at a time in this country when we would embrace differences. It was a time when something unique wasn't something to be shunned, but something to be welcomed. It was great. It brought cultures together. It did so much good beyond baseball. And just his approach and the wide-eyed approach that he had and the utter joy that he brought to the game. Yes. We don't see that much. We're always talking about money here, whether it's, the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball. Back then, it was about joy. It really was a special time for the Dodgers and around the country.
Yeah. Can you imagine him going viral in today's world? That would have been fun. That would have been fun because people
would have been, but you almost wonder in the times if it would have been as embraced. It's just a different time also.
Yeah. We definitely embraced it. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not a Dodger fan. I could care less about the Dodgers, but it was an endearing story for all of us. Absolutely. It didn't. At that moment, I was a Phillies fan, at that time, but I was still enamored with the whole thing. With Fernando, and plus they went on a run where they just continued to have rookie of the years and all that for many years.
And also, and just the way he looked more like us than some muscle-bound player. He was just a guy. He had a beer. He pitched the game. He just had that look. That was part of the embrace also.
Yeah. There's no doubt there was a little bit of Levon in him in that sense, that he just kind of looked like a normal dude, and he was out there doing some amazing things. All right, we've got something pretty special tonight, man, and I'm glad they're doing this because I've talked about this before, whether it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or whatever it is, that we, honor somebody and we do it way past their prime and they don't get to enjoy the moment. And I'm sure Riley is not big on this kind of stuff either, on people harping praise on him and all that kind of stuff, but this is well deserved because what he's done for this organization and where he put them on the map, he made the Heat the example that the rest of South Florida needs to follow, and many teams across the NBA need to follow.
Yeah, and again, your point is so well done. Is don't do these things posthumously. Don't do it after the fact. Let the man enjoy the moment, and let fans enjoy the man during the moment. I think the only thing after this is, and I don't know who approves this, is some sort of honor for Mickey Harrison. Joe Robbie at a stadium. He started football down here. Yes, the name changed a gazillion times since, but still, some people still drive by there and go, oh, there's Joe Robbie Stadium. That will forever last that way. Mickey Harrison also changed things, as did the Harrison family. There probably should be something there also. But, I mean, look at this week. Wednesday night.
I got it. We need to name the bridge that goes from the city into the port and the tunnel, the Arison connection.
Except there's other cruise lines there who might not be as enamored with it. So maybe something more heat related at the heat facility.
Well, but I'm sorry. Do the other owners make their home there? Do the other ships have an arena here? Do those other ships employ a whole bunch of people in Miami? No, those ships employ people from other parts of the world, actually, not from Miami. Mickey Arison employs people from Miami, and he's been doing it for decades now. So too bad, so sad, my brother. If you're going to what's that called? What's the Royal Caribbean, right? Is the other if you're going to Royal, too bad, you're going to cross over on the Arison bridge or the Arison tunnel. Too bad, but
it's still, the Heat still have a way of doing things right. Riley tonight, Dwayne Wade statue on Sunday, Dwayne honored next Monday in the Pistons game. They do that, just like the Dolphins Ring of Honor. It means something when you're at the Dolphin Stadium, when you see those names along the beam there. So, like you and I have spoken for a while, I'm going to actually write a Sunday column on it about some sort of Heat Hall of Fame, Hall of Honor. It has to be more than just the jerseys in a building. It has to show that a franchise is more than about players. It's about coaches. It's about management. And I think the Heat do a very good job of that. And you know what, Big O? At 37 years old, this is not an expansion team anymore. This is a team with a rich and enduring history that should celebrate that history.
Hell yeah. We should have a Heat Hall of Fame. By now, we deserve to have a Heat Hall of Fame. And that's another revenue stream for them, dude, because we have the Heat Nation now goes at arenas all over the country. Wherever the Heat are at, you're there. You see it. Heat fans are in every arena you go to now. And they all travel from all parts of the world to come to Miami to see a game. And I think if you create a Heat Hall of Fame, it becomes a thing for them to go visit and, a bucket list type of thing because the Heat have become that kind of a franchise.
And knowing the Heat's marketing, buy a combo ticket, get a game, get a Hall of Fame pass. Yeah, believe me, there's all kinds of possibilities there. I will address that on Sunday. I will list my inaugural class for a Heat Hall of Fame and see if you agree. Next week in our Acura Pembroke Pines report, we can discuss that as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's I would put Ron Rothstein in my inaugural.
I have him in mind as a contributor, because of not only the inaugural coach, the Miami Souls coach, and now Heat Television for more than a decade. Believe me, I think you'll appreciate the list.
Yeah. Foundationally, if you leave him out, it's irresponsible. That's just the way it is. If you know the organization, you leave Ron Rothstein out. Yeah, that's just that doesn't. Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. All right. Jimmy Butler's playing. Was there a tennis match last night? He's set for tonight, right?
No, I think this will be the first of 82 consecutive appearances by Jimmy Butler. Maybe. But you know what? He knows and he hears, and his agent knows and his agent hears, and Pat Riley knows and Pat Riley wants to see. So I honestly think it'll take something major to keep Jimmy off the court. But it's interesting. One of my Ask Ira questions today at sunsentinel.com was, I not only want to see Jimmy Butler every game, I want to see the best of Butler. I want to see the ultimate effort. I don't want to see one of those games where he's out there, but he's not really out there. We know that Bam Adebayo busts his ass out there. We know that Tyler Hero, think of what you want, but he tries to maximize his skill every day. We know that Terry Rozier has the motor, that he's going to have that motor through the game. What will we see at Jimmy? Will we see the 35-year-old trying to preserve himself? Will we see the 35-year-old still dealing with the ankle strain he had during the preseason? Or will we see a guy who's motoring along with his teammates? Because whether Orlando Alzagari agrees with it or not, if Jimmy Butler wants an extension, he has to show that at 35, he could still do some of the things he does at 30. That's his path to an extension, whether you agree or not. He should have us talking on our Acura Pembroke Pines report every week where I go, Big O, maybe the extension is not such a bad idea. And maybe the pushback isn't as strong from you because what Jimmy is showing, his future's in his own hands. This is the start. Now we get to see.
Yeah, let's hope that what you don't want to do is what's happened in the past to the Heat, to the Dolphins, to many teams, is that you give an extension that is not worthy of giving an
That you
extension.
pay for the past instead of what might come next. You've got to be careful with that, especially in salary cap worlds. It isn't personal. It's about the cap. It's about business.
Yeah. And listen, for Tyler, we all know what his problem is availability.
Exactly.
It's always been. Nobody's expecting him to become a defensive stud. That's not in his DNA. That's not who he is. He's a kid that can get you buckets. He can score. He can help others score. But his problem has always been he's never available.
No, and every day 20-point score in the NBA is still meaningful, even if you don't defend, even if you're limited. Just to get that presence, you need that. Every team needs that in support. Points are important, more important now than ever. If he can do that and be there for 75 games, like Pat Riley said, hell, at this point, after he played 42 last year, I'll take 70 this year. That'll make a difference. And like Dave Hyde pointed out in his column at the Sun Sentinel today, this team finished 4 games out of second place. 3 games out of third place, 2 games out of fourth place. Just a little bit more, even with other teams getting better, can make a huge difference from the Heat. The subtle move from 46 and 36 to just 48 and 34 can mean a world of difference, no play-in, an easier life, and maybe the Celtics in the conference finals instead of the Celtics in the first round.
By the way, the only other thing, on availability and all of that I am concerned about is with Jimmy Butler. I think the Jets are kind of figuring this out now, and so is the rest of the NFL and its fans, that Aaron Rodgers isn't who he used to be anymore. And so you could complain about all the other things going on with that team, but if you really look at that quarterback, he's not the guy he used to be. And so that's a problem too as age goes on. And you got to really find out if Jimmy Butler is what he used to be or what you've seen recently is what you're going to get in the future.
But the thing is, Jimmy is relentless in his work ethic. Aaron Rodgers tried to become host of Jeopardy. Aaron Rodgers went to his darkness retreat. Aaron Rodgers was going to run for vice president instead with Robert Kennedy Jr. He's all over the place. Jimmy Butler, the one thing we know about Jimmy, he works. He might go to Europe, but he works. He works in the Netherlands. He works in France. He works in England. He works in South America. He constantly works. This is what Jimmy is. Aaron Rodgers has 1,000 different directions he's considering going in. Jimmy Butler wants to be a great championship-winning basketball player. I have my faith that Jimmy is doing everything right, just like the rest of us. Does the body hold up? Because age waits for no one. So we'll see. And again, I'm not expecting 24-year-old Jimmy Butler. I'd like to see something a little closer to 30-year-old Jimmy Butler. That's what we await.
Yes, I would hope so. What are you expecting tonight? Because the Magic are not going to be an easy out anymore. And it's not one of those things that when I look at the Heat and the Magic, the Heat are a superior franchise and all that. Yeah, long-term overall, they've been the superior franchise. But when I start looking at what we're seeing right now, the Magic have a very respectable roster.
And a great defense and the young roster that the Heat never really waits for, the Paolo Banchero, the Franz Wagner. They have the young players, the Jalen Suggs. They're a team of the future. But still, this is a win-now league. Look, the Southeast, there were 3 garbage teams. Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington. You better win your 12 games there. But division record still is a playoff tiebreaker and almost came into play last year. You've got to beat the Magic. You've got to beat the Magic at home. This will be the litmus test for the Heat. Run like crazy offense, shoot threes like crazy. Well, that's all well and good if you shoot threes like the Celtics did last night against the Knicks. But if you shoot threes like the Heat did in their preseason, it might be trying to force feed something that you're not. The one thing more than anything I'm looking at in tonight's game against the Magic is this. The Heat want to play up-tempo. Eric Spoelstra wants to play up-tempo. Most of the roster wants to play up-tempo. But is Jimmy Butler still going to walk a ball up the court because his best game is still a slower, more methodical game? So I want to see the buy-in from Jimmy Butler. And can Butler ball also work in this new Heat style? I think that's what we have to look at. You can force it. Perfect example is the Dolphins. You cannot play Tua ball without Tua. You try, Tyreek doesn't get the ball. Waddle doesn't get the ball. So can you play up-tempo ball if Jimmy's playing different ball? I want to see if that mesh is there, or like the Dolphins, if you're trying to force feed something.
It's that conversation's come up here several times, and I use Spo and Shula all the time because this guy doesn't adjust to his talent, whereas Spo's a freaking magician. The blood clot years. That's all I ever have to show people is just go look at the blood clot years and watch that man change one offense to another, to another, to another, to another for a couple of years. That was amazing. And Shula would do the same thing if he was running a Greasy or a Woodstock or a Marino offense. It didn't matter. He was going to change to what it is, where this guy, he tries to put the square pegs in the round hole.
It's a system. He's a system coach, and a system coach is all well and good as long as you got the players to fit the system. As soon as you don't, it becomes trouble. Spoelstra's greatest adjustment was Chris Bosh at the three-point line. He started all this of the big men shooting threes, of use space so LeBron can drive, Dwayne can play off the ball. So I'm curious to see, does Eric Spoelstra stay with what we saw?
He did both things. He brought LeBron closer to the basket.
Correct.
By using him in the post-up game, and he brought Bosh out to extend and stretch the defense. Again, he's just at another level, dude. He's Shula, bro. I'm telling you. It's Shula and him in this town. Those are the two best coaches I've ever seen in my lifetime. All respect to Riley. Those are the two best I've ever seen in my life.
And even Riley would say that Eric Spoelstra's been a much better adjustment coach. Pat always had his way, and that was his way, and is always telling his players, do it better.
Yeah. System, by the way. Riley was a system guy. That's why he kind of pushed Whiteside onto Spo.
Because he thought bully ball would still work. Eric thought differently. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's where it's different. All right. What are we expecting as Heat fans? Is there an element or something that we'll see from the Heat offensively, defensively that maybe we're not expecting? Anything there? Can you wear anything, something? What do you tell me?
I think it was what you weren't expecting prior to the preseason. I think they're going to be a ball hawking defense going for steals, playing in transition. They will try to play faster. They will try to shoot more threes. Look, if Bam Adebayo makes 2 or 3 three-pointers a game, that's a revelation. That is game-changing for them. So keep an eye on Bam. I don't see Khalil Ware simply because Eric wants to win now, has to win now. So I think he goes with the veterans. The one guy, I know you're a big fan of his, but I still believe even though he's going to be starting, Nikola Jovic still has to earn it. So if there's a swing starting spot there, Nikola has to say to Haywood Highsmith, hey, I'm standing my ground. I'm going to stay here. We'll see that. I think Eric Spoelstra won't think twice about changing his rotation, won't think twice about changing his starting lineup. They know they have to win. Last season, they spent a 1-3 start and chased their tails the rest of the season. These games mean something starting tonight against the Magic.
Pele Larson, is he going to get?
Pele Larson will be that 10th guy. So it'll be interesting. Is it going to be Larson? Is it going to be Josh Richardson, who's out now? Is it going to be Alec Burks? Again, you start with the veteran, see if the veteran works. You go from there. But I think Pele Larson could have some moments also.
Where could he at least be a break glass in case of emergency guy?
If Bam is not there, you might see starting Thomas Bryant, but Khalil Ware coming in and playing. But he doesn't want to gift minutes. The kid's going to have to earn it. He'll get some chances. I think the sense with the staff is this: by midseason, let him watch, let him learn, give him a little bit of time, see if he gets the pace of the game, the physicality of the game, and then let him grow into that.
Will Tyler, I know he's going to start, right? But is that etched in stone, or do you think that
I think it is now, as long as they can make it work. But unlike the preseason, I think they'll stagger Tyler and Terry Rozier, so one will always be on the court and be the point guard. So I know we saw some Drew Smith at point guard during the preseason, Isaiah Stevens when he was here. So I think Tyler will be the starting shooting guard and the backup point guard. So he'll get to play multiple roles, and that'll keep him happy because he'll be a spot-up shooter in the first team, but he'll get to be a little bit more aggressive in the second unit.
Yeah, look, if Tyler's kicking ass, he'll be playing in the fourth quarter, and that's
exactly
what he wants. But it's up to him, dude, to kick ass and to freaking stay in the damn lineup, bro.
Yes.
I don't know how he does that. That's the thing. I don't know how you know.
He put on some weight. He added some bulk, but he also knows there's an expectation. So I think where it might have been previously, I don't feel right. It's going to be, I'm ready to go. I think there is a change in attitude and approach there.
And hopefully he has a little bit of, he gets a little bit of that TUA out of him. That ball, diving for, I'm not going to dive for that ball, bro. I'm not going to risk injury.
Make the smart play, just like TUA. Make the smart play.
Make the smart play, dude. Your body's not built for wear and tear like that. Don't put it extra wear and tear when it doesn't.
Agree.
All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
I did a story about the back end of the roster and just the success stories of the two-way guys, and a Drew Smith coming back early from last year's horrific knee injury, of a Josh Christopher showing up in May and saying, I want to make this team, of a Keyshawn Johnson showing that effort and hustle still means something for this team. I just posted that at sunsentinel.com. I'll have our usual coverage tonight after the game, and I will be unveiling my Miami Heat ideas for who should be the original class, the inaugural class of what Big O and I have been talking about on Accurate Pembroke Pines report for years almost, about a Heat Hall of Honor at least, and what they should do. So give that a check out on Sunday, and we'll talk about that next Monday.
Maybe if you don't build a building separately for it, do you do the thing that the Pacers did? Can you do that in that arena?
Even the Panthers have a museum. The problem is there's not a lot of space in the vomitories and the hallways of the arena. It's a very tight, complex area, but they do have that 601 building connected. So, hey, maybe I'll just take up that space.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because you're right. The Pacer Arena, the hallways are
right. It's a bigger footprint. My American Airlines Arena, Kaseya Center is a very small footprint because of where it's located.
Yeah, because where it's located. Yeah, no doubt. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. Better yet, please subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel to support all of our locals journalists doing a terrific job covering sports and news and everything else. Ira, thank you, sir. We will catch up next week. Enjoy the game tonight.
Catch you next week. Season's on. Let's go. Thanks, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. Yes, sir. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone getting it done. The Service Center, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber. They are outstanding. That's the beauty. When you walk in there, they're going to take care of you. They're going to take care of you like family. Like family. You walk in there. They're good people. Larry Schlossberg has been running that show for a long, long time, man. It's like 10 years now that he's been running the show. And right now you can get the 2025 Integra. You can get 3.9% financing for 60 months, and you can get the lease feature for $339 a month. The ZDX, you can get electrified the 2024, $479 a month, 0.9% financing for 72 months. The RDX, we've had a couple already in our family. What an amazing car. The RDX, you can beat the hell out of that car. I know because my wife still has hers, and she's been beating the hell out of it for 14 years. I'm going to convince her to get a new car by next year. It's hard to get her out of it. It's old, it's beaten up and everything, and it just runs, dude. Jesus, those RDXs are tanks. $379 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. You want a great vehicle? You get an Acura. You want a great deal? You go to Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Right. Horn Dog says, I take Dion approach with my kids and their best friends. I have no filter for anyone. I'm with you. That's how I am on my show. I'm not here to have a filter. I didn't have a filter at QAM or at WINZ or at 640 Sports or wherever I did it. I didn't have a filter, and that's how I'm going to be. You know what I mean? I'm going to call it like I see it. And that's how I am with my daughter. I'm tough with my daughter, you know. I'm not gonna, just because I had a daughter instead of a son, I gotta handle her with kid gloves. No, dude, I love the hell out of my daughter. I support everything she does. I encourage her in everything she does, but I'm not gonna bullshit her. No. I'm not doing that disservice to her. And if she didn't do something right, I'm gonna tell her she didn't do something right. That's all. And if she did something right, I'm going to praise it and thank her for it and encourage her to keep doing it. But I'm not here to coddle. I'm here to love and support, not coddle. I'm here to tell you the truth, not lie to you or mislead you or what. No, dude. That's because then life happens and then it's your fault because you didn't prepare me for life. And that's not our jobs. Our jobs is to prepare you for what life is really like. And that's the real thing that you do for your kids, is to prepare them for life. But if you coddle them and hide them and shelter them and all that, oh man, they are not going to adjust well. They're not going to adjust well. They're going to struggle. They're going to be struggling, as Joe Namath would say. Big O early prediction for our Fins. Dolphins 30, Cards 17. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Arison Causeway, nice, right? Right? We rename the bridge and the tunnels for the Arison family. That's all. I don't give a shit about Royal Caribbean. It's a terrific a cruise line. And Princess and NCL and I don't know, whatever it is. I get it. Carnival's not the only one. There's all kinds of others that stop there. I understand. But all those others, they don't have their owner living in Miami and owning an arena. Well, not the arena, but the team and employing so many people in Miami for so many years. Sorry. Mickey Arison is much more invested in our community than the owner of Royal Caribbean or Celebrity Cruises or NCL or any of those other ones. Too bad, so sad. So, this partnership is with Mickey Arison and the Arison family. I've always told you this. I don't like public-private partnerships much. But when the private partnership does their part, then I can work with you a little bit. I think the public-private partnership can work because if the private partnership is doing their part by spending money to put together a great product, to bring in a bunch of fans. And remember what I just told Ira. We have Heat fans that travel from all over the world to come here to the arena. They not only go to other arenas to see the Heat, they come here. So now you're bringing tourism here. Now your arena's full every night. So the person selling arepas on the street is making money. The Heat stores in the Dolphin Mall, in the Miami airport, they're all making money. They're employing people. The arena is employing a shit ton of people. You're constantly going to the playoffs. You've won championships. So you're bringing much more attention to the city of Miami. You're doing your part. You're helping build Miami and its brand. Mickey Arison's doing it. The guys that own the Marlins, they don't help us in anything, dude. They're freaking useless. Sherman and company are garbage. You don't do private-public partnerships with the Arisons and the Shermans of the world. You don't. You do it with the Mosses of the world, the Arisons of the world. And we even turned down, Ross. And so he went on to improve the stadium and all that kind of stuff. But he spends the money, dude. He saved the tennis tournament. He brought the F1 race. All that stuff brings revenue back to our town. He does his part as public-private partnerships go. Arison does his part. Moss does. Dude, Moss brought Messi. Do you know how many people are coming from out of the country, all over the United States to come see Messi or to go see him in other stadiums? He's doing his part. I draw a line in the sand to help private partnerships and all private businesses with public money. I'm not big at all for that. But there are certain cases where the ones that are going to contribute and bring back, okay, I can see you working a little bit with them. You know, giving me a tax break, some break on land or something. I can understand that when you're dealing with ownership that truly cares about our town and is hiring our people all over the place and is improving the lives of our citizens in many different ways and our community. And that's what the Arison, that's what the Moss family, that's what, by the way, Viola and Sifu, Jesus Christ, I forgot those guys. You know, come on. That's where I don't have a problem when they're contributing back, you know, and that's what Arison has done. So, yeah, if we're going to honor him, that's a great way to honor him, because the bridge and the tunnel are right next to the arena, and they connect to his boats that are there. I think it's a cool thing, man. It's a cool thing. I don't have a problem with that. Forgive me, I'm about 10 minutes behind, but Pete Carroll sucked with the Patriots. Maybe the Jets too. Not sure about the Jets. Mark the Bird Fidrich was a similar phenomenon to Fernando. Yes. Except Fernando probably personality-wise probably connected a little bit more. Bird was more of a aloof, but he was a trip because he was talking to himself on the mound and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Pete Carroll one, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Did he... He did suck, I remember, with, I think it was the Patriots. Did he win anything with the Jets? Did he even get a winning record? I don't think so either, right? Let me see if I can see his page here. Let me look at his record, because I think you're right on that one. I think he was pretty bad overall and then became a good coach in Seattle. So it took 3 stops for him. I got to look at his coaching resume overall, but I think you're right, dude. The Jets 6-10. Well, no, he was 10-6. They were first in the AFC. So he was a good coach then. Lost to Pittsburgh in the AFC divisional game. And then in 98, they were 9-7, fourth in the AFC, lost to Jacksonville. And they were 8-8 after that, fourth in the AFC in New England. So he did make it to the playoffs the first year with New England. Who was the quarterback? Was that? That's interesting. But he did have a good year. So I don't know what we would call him. He didn't really have anything under 500 in those 3 years, even with the Jets, which is pretty cool, by the way. That's not bad. 8-8, 9-7, 10-6, 27-21 in 3 years in New England. And with the Jets, it was just one season at 6-10. So then after that, and then in Seattle, he went 7-9, 7-9, and then they got Russell, and then they went 11-5, 13-3, 12-4, all that good stuff. And he was a good coach at USC. I don't know. I think Carroll showed you signs from the get-go, whereas I don't think with McDaniel, it's just, man, the decisions he makes kind of exposes him. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what else do we have to talk about in the world of sports? By the way, Cutter's Edge Pro, a proud sponsor of our program. They do it all: tree trimming, outdoor lighting, synthetic turf, and I am a recipient of that synthetic turf, and we've had it for well over 2 years now. And not one blade of grass has grown through it. I told you the story. A friend of mine, he tried to get cute, tried to save himself a couple dollars, and he thought he was going to get, the artificial turf like mine, and he did it. And a couple of months later, blades of grass were going through. He's in the middle of a lawsuit, by the way. And by the way, one more thing. The idiot didn't call Welton Rayom. So I'm really like questioning whether he's a friend of mine. Really. I even told him, I go, bro, do you really pay attention to me? Like, you saw the hole in my wall. You saw Welton Rayom kick their ass. Why didn't you call him? You saw what happened with your artificial turf. Why do you do this? I don't get it. So don't try to cut corners. Don't try to be cheap. Don't try to call your cousin's lawyer or friend or something because he had one case or something. I mean, really, seriously, cutting corners, you end up paying the price. Call Cutter's Edge Pro. Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. Do it right. And by the way, if you need maintenance, because a lot of us don't have a green thumb, call them. They'll take care of you. They can maintain your property. They can upgrade it. And remember, when you add landscaping or upgrade it, that's going to improve the home, the value of your property. So reach out to my friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, 954-472-0622. And reach out to William Quigley at Cutter's Edge Pro. According to TUA haters, Hill, Waddle, and McDaniel made him. I know. Remember that? Remember that? Can't wait to see O become Grandpa O one day. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. It is safe to say Ohtani is better than Babe Ruth right now. Oh my God, yes. It's not even close, dude. Come on, man. I know it's way too affectionate with my family as a whole, but I am a hard ass who believes in things done the right way. Mistakes absolutely will happen, but laziness really makes me angry. Lily says, I'm a Dolphins fan. I hate to say it. It might as well pull the plug. Oh. Yeah. No, I get it, Lily. Jay says over 150 views in the chats, less than half in the let's go. Hit that like button. Come on. Oh, your friend might have been ordering too much liquor split. Yeah. He did go to Toyota of Hollywood. I give him credit there. So the wife bought a RAV4 there. So he did do that. But I don't stop ripping him, especially for the Cutter's Edge Pro thing. You know why I rip him for that? He comes to my house, right? And we go to the backyard, and he marveled at it for like a half hour. And then because he wanted to save, I think it was like $700 or something like that. It's like a stupid number, really. It wasn't like not money that's going to, and look at the headache that I tell them all the time. I go, bro, for a few $100s, really, is this what you're doing? Look at the headache you've had now. And it's sad, bro. So it ended up costing him way more now. And all the frustrations and all that shit. Sad. It's like, bro, just do it right the first time. And that's it. Oh, man. Tua will be fine. Tua only can QB. QB can move this O-line. Big O. Everybody's going to eat again Sunday. Yeah, well, let's hope so. Mr. Spock, depressing to think I can't remember the last memorable win for the Finns. Can't even remember a game under McDaniel where we played 4 solid quarters of fundamental football against a quality opponent. Yeah, I don't think they ever do that under him. There's no such thing as 4 quality quarters under Mike McDaniel. He's not good enough coach for that. Edward Thurston House says it's weird that people say that Tua should retire when the guy he hit in the chest. Hamlin died on the field last year, and no one is suggesting that he retires. Well, they did then. Now, whatever at this point. Nobody really cares at this point. So Tua returns to practice today. What is Tua returning to? Because you see how you already, everybody's going to eat. And Tua is the cure to everything that we ail from. And we are lying to ourselves. If we're doing, at least I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to tell you, you're lying to yourself. I don't know how you would feel that. If you watch the way McDaniel coaches this team on the sidelines and the constant mistakes that are being made, and he doesn't know when to run the ball, when not to run the ball, what kind of pass. He doesn't even know how to switch up his own offense for a different style player. Think about that. He doesn't even understand the talent that he has. Okay, Hundley cannot do anything that Tua can do. You know what I'm saying? And when he was about to start, we had the delusional fans think, oh, no, Tyrone Hundley is, Snoop Hundley just needs an opportunity. He'll be fine. We're going to be great. And it's like, there's a reason why he was on the practice squad. Nick Hicks, who trains Tua, right? And I've taken a ton of bullets for Tua, right? And Nick knows it, and Nick appreciates it, but he's Tua's guy. So that's what he's going to be. When Hundley was starting, and I explained to people and I warned them ahead of time, this is not even close to the quarterback, Nick went after me a little bit. Why? Because he trains him. Again, I respect it. I get it. I told him, bro, I get it. You train him. What else are you going to say? But, the difference between me and Nick is I don't train anybody. So I'm going to be objective whether I think they can play or not. My man Nick Hicks can't be objective. He has to be Mr. Positive about all his guys that he trains. They are his clients. They are paying him. No one pays me. No corporation, no nothing. So I don't have a partnership with the Heat or the Dolphins or the Marlins or the Panthers or Inter Miami or the Canes. So I don't need to kiss their ass for any reason whatsoever. We call it like we see it. That's it. What is Tua returning to? He's returning to a dysfunctional team. He's returning to a coach that can't consistently call a game, doesn't know when to use a running game, doesn't know when to start, stop, continue using the running game. Nothing. He doesn't know how to handle one quarterback different than another. He can't even understand their different skill sets and how they should be used. In fact, he was around Skylar Thompson for 2+ years, and the kid has no business being in the NFL after watching him. We're watching a coach that doesn't know when to challenge a play, can't even win challenges. This guy has a lot of issues on the sidelines. Tua is coming back to a star receiver that constantly has brain farts in Tyreek Hill, an unreliable Tyreek Hill. Let's get that shit straight too by now. Okay? Tyreek Hill is an unreliable human being. Period. End of story. You can't count on him in big games. You can't count on him in big moments. You can't count on him to elevate backup quarterbacks. You can't count on him to actually catch all the passes that are thrown to him, you can't count on him to run the goddamn route right. You can't count on him not to have a penalty. You can't count on Waddle not to make a drop. That's what Tua's returning to? Tua's returning to a coach that doesn't know when to use the tight end? I just want to, Tua's returning to a special teams coach that can't coach? To a kicker that you can't rely on? Is that what Tua's returning to? I just want to get this shit straight before you label him some kind of a hero, the answer, the savior, all of that. So the quarterback's supposed to be a savior with a bad coach on the sidelines. Make no mistake, Mike McDaniel is the worst coach in South Florida right now. The worst. That's what Tua Tagovailoa is returning to. So before you start to get to the point of, oh, Tua's back, everything will be fixed. No, everything is broken. He's not the guy that's going to fix everything. If you think that, you're delusional, dude. You're absolutely delusional. You're losing your mind if that's the case. Toyota of Hollywood. We love talking about Herbie Lopez. And, of course, the great people at Toyota of Hollywood, they've got some scary, scary deals going on right now. They are creeping it real with scary deals at 1841 North State Road 7 on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Get on down there. Go see it. Go see the RAV4. Go see the Corolla, the Camry, the Prius, the Prime. You're going to love it. The Supra. So many amazing vehicles and the selection. That's what I love about Toyota of Hollywood. They've got 2,000 cars. So when you want a Corolla, you're going to see a crap ton of Corollas. You want a Camry, you're going to see a boatload of Camrys. You want a RAV4? Man, you're going to see rows of it. That way you can pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want, but more importantly, the price you want. They are the #1 volume sales dealership. They're moving it and moving it and moving it. And the cars too. So when you go see Herbie and the boys, tell them that Big O sent you. They're open till midnight. Oh, and by the way, if it's raining, not there, all the cars pretty much are on the roof. It's got like 8 or 10 floors. I don't know. That thing is enormous. So you're under roof. It's hot. You're under roof. You're going to love it, man, at Toyota of Hollywood. All right, let's talk. Let's give you the 3A Graphics sports calendar. Tonight, the Kaseya Center, Magic visit the Heat. Game 1 of the NBA regular season for Miami. Heat favored by 2. The over and under is 208. Tonight, they will honor Pat Riley by naming the court under his honor, the Pat Riley Court. Well-deserved. Atlanta-Montreal play to a 2-2 tie. Atlanta advances in PKs. Why do I mention that? Atlanta now will face Inter Miami on Friday on basically 2.5 days of rest. So 8:30 Friday, Inter and Atlanta at Chase Stadium. Celtics defeat the Knicks 132-109. The Warriors lost to the Lakers 110-103. Those are the two games in the NBA slate last night. Saturday, UM will host FSU. They are favored by 21. The over and under is 54.5. And the Titans have traded DeAndre Hopkins to the Chiefs for a conditional 5th-round pick that could be a 4th-round pick, depending on DeAndre Hopkins' play. And on a sad note, Fernando Valenzuela passed away at the age of 63. Fernando Mania. An amazing moment in sports history, gotta say. Sage McKinley is in the house. Big O, you've been saying Tua needs to take over calling on the field like Marino did. I totally agree. Even yesterday in some of his responses, it sounded like he knows what call to make over McDaniel. Well, let's hope he puts on his big boy pants and, sometimes takes over the game himself and says, nah, that's not a good call. Let's go with something else here. Trading Tyreek would be the smart thing to do. Use the draft capital in return. What draft capital are you going to get, dude? Nobody's giving you a high pick for Tyreek anymore. He has a ton of problems off the field. The Dolphins can't trade him because they would accelerate their entire signing bonus that they gave him and the guarantees. It's cap crippling, and you're not going to get a high pick anymore, because they have to pay him money. So no, dude, it's, again, too many of you live in fantasy land and you don't understand the finances of this sport. And so it just cannot happen anymore. And nobody wants Tyreek. Nobody. Okay? Nobody wants Tyreek. The only people that think that is people like you, sir. Nobody is trading for Tyreek at all. Maybe if you pay half his salary and they only have to give up a 7th rounder. Okay? That's the way they're going to look at it, because they have to assume all the irresponsibility of Tyreek. The constant F-ups on the field, the constant F-ups off the field. You don't know when's the next one. And by the way, he's overrated as it is. Doesn't even show up in the big games all the time. He has a tendency of choking too. Talks a lot of shit about big moments, and then he doesn't show up. So a lot of hollow yards. A lot of hollow yards. Some of you guys need to you need to come back to reality here. Okay? Some of you really need reality here. Tua should be given full autonomy when it comes to the offense. I bet he'd make better decisions than McDaniel. Anybody would make better decisions than McDaniel. Boat campers off Oakland Park Boulevard on the Intercoastal in Fort Lauderdale, 3 to 7 p.m. All the fun fans welcome. Or Fin fans, I guess is what he meant by. Frankie Fresco, I'll be at the game. You should come. I can get you a seat in the HVAC duck on the north side, on the northeast side. Big O, if we criticize Flo and him not being able to assemble a staff, we have to also do the same thing to McNerd's 3 DCs in 3 years. Terrible tight end coach and horrible, horrible special teams coach. Yeah. Yeah. How he kept Crossman employed is a fireable offense. Look, man, I'm done with McDaniel already. I'm done with him. I'm convinced he's not the guy. I like the front office, but they screwed up in Flo, and they screwed up with this guy. Okay? I don't think the talent's nearly as bad as people make it out to be. I think the coaching is absolutely freaking horrible. I mean, horrible, dude. Horrible. You got to have the worst tight end and special teams coach ever, and Mike McDaniel could take the cake as the worst game day coach I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy, isn't it? Because you look at stats and you fall in love with those hollow stats and you think something else. But yeah, Oscar, can't disagree with that. He definitely deserves it. Atlanta United has been a little thorn for Inter Miami. They haven't lost to them with Messi. Yeah. Yep. But this time around, I think you're going to see a fired up Inter, and I think they're going to bury their ass on Friday. You need to be done with Greer too. Well, unfortunately, I like the front office guys, but the McD thing may bury them. So you're going to get your wish, Frankie, probably, because I don't know how McD turns it around. Big O, we have a few Cardinal fans coming to our party, so I meant all fun fans. 100% bring the fun. Oh, so you did. Oh, okay. All right, Big O, I saw one team employ a former referee to watch all the plays from up top and be the one who calls down to determine whether a challenge could be issued. Sounds like a good idea for the Finns. Whoever they have sucks. Whoever they have, if it's the same person that's been around for a couple years, which knowing McDaniel it is, I don't know how that person has a job, to be totally honest. I don't know how it happens. Don't forget, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Always appreciate you all out there, as always, making a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Bitcoin, by the way, is at 66,200 right now. So holding right around that 66,000 area, but dipping a little bit from the last couple of days, which I was telling Sean, joking around when it was like at 68 something, 16, approaching 69. I go, knowing Bitcoin, it would be so Bitcoin to have a little dip into 65. And, I was kind of joking. I didn't think it would drop, but it's dropping to 66. So, what the hell, right? What the hell? Let's see. Is MLS playoff a series or eliminate? No, a elimination. Move on. One game, you move on. You got 90 minutes, bro. Settle it in 90 minutes. Wasn't it Crossman who was also doing the reviews for McDaniel? I don't think so. I don't think so. But either way, Danny Crossman has no business being employed, just like John Embry has no business being employed either. John Embry is embarrassing. His tight ends are the most undisciplined group of tight ends I have ever seen in my life. It is disgraceful to see how those tight ends are playing. You know what's disgraceful? That you allow Julian Hill to continue to play, dude. Right? That's a slap in the face of your team, your fans, everybody. That guy doesn't help you in any way, constantly is hurting you, and you do nothing about it. So, Russia eyes Bitcoin to bypass sanctions at BRICS summit, pushing domestic crypto sales for international trade. We'll talk about that in the Crypto Bro Show. There'll be some stuff to talk about in the Crypto Bro Show today. So we'll be doing that shortly. All right, what else do we have to talk about? Oh, by the way, the WNBA players have opted out of their CBA. I'm just going to say, give me a quick minute here, really fast. I follow the WNBA. I have for years, ever since we covered them and everything when we had them here. I'm a supporter of women's sports. I can talk I can talk WNBA because if you've watched the show, you know that I watch it. Okay. These women están equivocadas. Equivocado. Okay. They are way out of line. I mean, way out of line. That's all I can tell you. Opting out, your league was losing $50 million. It lost 40 because of Caitlin Clark. The NBA supports the WNBA. They're the ones that have kept the league and has lost money for years and years and years and years. It has not made any money. They don't see a penny from any of the expansion fees or anything. So they've had to foot the bill for all of this. And these women are, I mean, I've never seen a more misinformed. Their self-value is so way off. Okay, and this is a guy that watches the WNBA, but most men don't watch the WNBA. Most men don't give a shit about the WNBA. And the few that do, they watch Caitlin Clark moments maybe more than anything else. But this whole attitude that these women have, this league is run like dog shit. The people that run this league have no clue or concept or whatever. They have ruined the moment with Caitlin Clark. They have allowed the jealousy and racism go after Caitlin Clark, because some of those girls are jealous and some of those girls are flat out racist. And they've allowed that shit to fester. The idiots didn't put Clark and Reese on the Olympic team to sell the brand even more. You know, you want to keep Diana Taurasi, who's 41 years old and has already won a bunch of Olympic golds. It proves nothing, dude. It does nothing for your league. You're trying to sell the league. Diana Taurasi has been there and the league's gone nowhere. And she's a hell of a player. But at least if you have Caitlin Clark, that's what you got to use to sell. So you can get more eyes, more views, more commercials. Morons. It's just stupid people run the NBA, the WNBA, and the smart people that run the NBA. Any day now, they're going to cut those people loose. And these women think that the increase is because of them. It's because of one. No player in the history of the WNBA has ever taken the league and people by storm in college basketball or in the WNBA like Caitlin Clark. For whatever reason, dude. I don't give a shit what it is. But the bottom line is she's the league. And you got the people opting out, and you got idiots like Reese think that she's the draw. Nobody pays to go see a rebounder, you moron. Angel Reese is a beautiful young lady. She's a smoke show. There's no doubt about that. She's a hell of a role player. She can defend. She can rebound. Her offense is pathetic. Nobody goes to see somebody that doesn't produce any offense. Okay? You've got to be such a defensive stud that it's got to be like a show. She doesn't put on a show. So you're not going to see Angel Reese. You're not going to go see most of the players in the WNBA. It's Caitlin Clark. This league, its players aren't very smart. Its executives aren't very smart. They have zero savviness to what they do. It really is. You know, the sport needs all the help it can get. It's got the wrong people running the show. I don't even know who's running the show, to be quite honest. I don't know if it's a he or a she or them or whatever. I don't know who's in charge pulling all the strings, but the people pulling the strings for the WNBA have no clue. And if I'm the WNBA owners, I'm actually taking more control of that league. I'm taking control away from the people that have it because they've only shown me that they're incompetent. So I don't get any of this, but hey, if the ladies of the WNBA want to screw this up, they can go ahead and screw it up. Go ahead and screw it up. I mean, you ladies are pretty stupid as it is. You go and take cheap shots at your money ticket, at your meal ticket, at Caitlin Clark, the only player in WNBA history that sells out NBA arenas. Her game, her following is too big for WNBA arenas. In fact, her following is stronger than some WNBA teams, including the one in their own city. Some stupid people tied to the NBA. On the court, off the court. It is clearly the dumbest league that we have in pro sports. Wow. You got a meal ticket, and all you do is screw things up. Freaking amazing, dude. Anyway, let's see. Tyreek and Waddle are both paid highly, but disappear without Tua. Yeah. Yes. Has Tua been making them look that much better this whole time? I mean, they're good, but okay, so truth or myth? Let's play truth or myth. Mike McDaniel can make anybody a quarterback. Myth. Any quarterback in this system would be fantastic. Myth. Tyreek makes Tua. Myth. I mean, it's just, that's what it is, right? It's all this stuff is myth and a whole bunch of stories. Because now we know what the truth is. Right? It's a whole bunch of myths. And you know what was the other myth? You idiots trying to compare Tyreek and Waddle to Clayton and Duper. Wow, what a myth that is. I never fell for that shit. I didn't fall for most of the shit you guys were throwing out there. But hey, that one, man, did I laugh at your ass. I mean, let's go. We got 153 of you. Some of you were there. Please raise your hand. Please say, I'm the fucking idiot that compared Tyreek and Waddle to Clayton and Duper. Please say it. Because there's a bunch of you that are a bunch of fucking idiots. Right? But most of you won't have any balls. Because you know why? Nobody tracks what you say. So, you're the same idiot that said McDaniel makes Tua and Tyreek makes Tua. In fact, Tua made all of them, is what it is. That's how it goes. But hey, let's go with the myth. Tyreek and Waddle, better or as good as Clayton and Duper. Wow. Holy shit, dude. Think about that one. You should think about that one. There we go. Finbase. Look at that. Only guy that has the balls. Only the rest of you cowards are still hiding. Where are you, cowards? Where are you? You spew all that bullshit myth. Mike McDaniel can make anybody a quarterback. It's the system. It's not Tua. Tyreek makes Tua. Tyreek and Waddle, they're just as good or better than Clayton and Duper. Prisoners of Cam Ward, same thing. Same thing going on. Oh, no, yeah, the Dolphins. Yeah, no, you gotta lose so you can have a top 5 pick and pick Cam. Prisoner of the moment. Cam Ward's cane doesn't translate to the NFL. But you go ahead. You keep thinking that sandlot football is going to do it. Prisoners of the moment. Tyreek and Waddle get a bunch of yards. Oh, and all of a sudden, they're in Clayton and Duper's class. Get the hell out of here, dude. Finbase, I'm proud of you, bro. You're my kind of guy. Because we're all going to screw up, right? But we got to admit it when we screw up. My old man would never let me compare Reek and Waddle to the Marx brothers. He taught me right. Joey Vasquez. I was right. TUA is the reason the engine runs. James Vinay says, Big O, a lot of these fans didn't see Clayton and Duper play. Yeah, no, I know. Those are the best ones. The ones that talk it and they didn't even see the guys play. Like, yo, bro, you didn't even watch them play. Shut the fuck up. You know, if you didn't watch them play, I do this all the time. I can't tell you about Jim Brown. As good as everybody says he was, and I will take their word for it, but I'm not going to talk about Jim Brown like I saw him. Can't do that, bro. So those of you that didn't see Clayton and Duper and you go and compare Reek and Waddle to him and like, shut the hell up, dude. Shut up. Seeing a couple highlights on YouTube doesn't make you an expert on Clayton and Duper. You know nothing. All you Dolphin fans out there that are born after, you know nothing about Clayton and Duper. Understand that. Just like I know nothing about Jim Brown except his story, his stats. I didn't really watch him play. And you're not going to get who he really was by a couple highlights. So I have to go by the historians that did watch him. It's pretty simple. So it's funny to me, hilarious. It's a great point you bring up. The ones that didn't see him and you're comparing them, bro, shut up, dude. Please. Don't try to be something you're not. If you don't know something, just say it. That's all. And plenty of you were talking that shit. And there's a bunch of you in the 172, but guess what? Look how gutless you people are. No balls. You talk a lot of shit at that moment. Oh, yeah, no, McDaniel makes TUA. Well, why don't you admit now that you're wrong? Why don't you admit now that Tyreek and Waddle don't come close to Clayton and Duper? Or maybe why don't you admit, I didn't see Clayton or Duper. I'm an idiot for even getting in the conversation. I have no substance. Because if you didn't watch Clayton and Duper, you can't enter this discussion. Like most of the writers, the youngins, they can't get in a conversation with me about Clayton and Duper. I'm not going to take them serious. Sorry. You didn't see it, dude. Not going off of just because you read some stats and you saw a couple highlights. You don't know dick about Mark Clayton, bro. Get out of my face. So a lot of you out there, you talk a lot of shit and then you disappear because nobody's tracking what you're saying. Where are you? Where are you people? There you go. You know what you can do since you were wrong about it? Just hit the like button for as wrong as you were. Brett Dodger goes, I go back far enough to see the Marx brothers, Tyreek and Waddle, hell, Warfield alone, Tyreek and Waddle. Please, Irving Fryer, I'll take over both these guys. I'll take O.J. McDuffie over Tyreek and Waddle every day of the week and twice on Sundays. I already told you, big moment. You're throwing into the end zone. The game is on the line. Oronde Gadsden or Tyreek Hill? That's not even a discussion. It's not even a discussion. Game on the line. I'm throwing into the end zone. If you didn't see Oronde Gadsden, I can't help you. But Tyreek Hill doesn't hold a candle to Oronde Gadsden in traffic. In fact, Tyreek Hill's hands don't even come close to Oronde Gadsden. Let's put that shit out there. Tyreek Hill has the overall talent that the Lord blessed him, superior to Oronde. No doubt. But when it comes to hands and clutch and toughness, I don't need to go to the Marx brothers. I don't need to go to Irving Fryer. I don't need to go to Paul Warfield. That's a layup. That's kids play. That's what that is. That's kiddie play. That's nothing. That's garbage. That's elementary, my dear Watson. Anybody that has watched those guys will take those guys over Tyreek Hill every day of the week and twice on Sundays. But in a key moment, you'll take a guy that has half his talent in Oronde Gadsden. Again, if you watched it, you can talk about it. If you didn't watch it, you don't really have a lot of credibility in my eyes. Sorry, you're too young. You didn't see it. You didn't really see it in moments, in big moments, on a consistent basis, week to week. You didn't watch it. I did. So it's just prisoners of the moment bullshit that happens with fans. And you get caught up with the stats and all of that. And then when you start seeing the complete big picture, it doesn't even compare, dude. It doesn't even compare. Let's see. Clayton and Duper, man, I was glad that at least I had those years. Amen. I was an idiot. Oh, Skylar Tipton. But I also never saw Duper and Clayton play. There you go. That's ignorance. If you didn't see Clayton and Duper play, you cannot be in the conversation. That's all. I'm sorry if it makes you feel bad. I'm sorry if it makes you feel out of place, but I don't play the game that I blow smoke up your ass. If you didn't see it, you can't talk about it. Because you didn't witness it week to week and in key moments and all those kind of things. So Clayton Duper played together for a long time, not just 2 years. James, doesn't matter to me. It's how they played the game. They're better than both those guys. They're tougher than both those guys. They played in a much more physical era than those guys. And they did not drop balls like those guys. And they don't drop key balls like those guys. It's not even close, dude. It's really not even close. Viper says, I'm just a tired Doll fan, boss. I would never compare them. I was a little kid when they played. Yeah. And that I love. I love honesty. If you don't know it, don't say it, bro. Just say, hey, I don't know. Much better. Sounds better that way. Big O Show, typical delusional Dolphin fanboys. Exactly. And we're getting that now with Cam Ward. Oh, Cam Ward, he's perfect. Yeah, no, you got to lose all the games. Top 5 pick. Wait till we get to the offseason and you start hearing the NFL people, well, he's good, but that game doesn't necessarily translate here. So Where do I see Hill and Waddle in the history? I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait till the end. Right now, nowhere near the first four guys I talked about. Warfield, the Marx Brothers, and Irving Fryer, they're not even close to those guys. Okay? The stats don't mean shit to me, dude. Stats are empty stats. They don't mean shit to me. So I judge you by key moments, consistency, toughness, all of that kind of stuff. And so far, I have not seen it from those guys. Not enough. So let's wait. But for now, not even close. I'm sorry, 5. I'll take McDuffie over all those guys. Also, toughness, consistency. Oh my God. You needed a first down? Money in the bank, O.J. McDuffie. The toe injury finished off his amazing career. He would have had a massive career to finish if he doesn't have that toe injury. Talk about tough. Waddle and Tyreek combined don't come close to OJ. That's a tough sumbitch right there, bro. God, I respect the shit out of OJ McDuffie. Holy crap, I respect that man. I had 2 season tickets through Marino's career. I can say this: Clayton Duper and Hill and Waddle have 0 Super Bowl wins. Let's win games and win a Super Bowl. Yeah, but that's a whole different conversation. That's a team thing. The biggest thing some people miss is Clayton Duper produced 5+ seasons together, and I don't remember them having drop passes. Hell, Keith Byers has better hands than 10 and 17. Yeah. I mean, would they drop a pass or two in a blue moon? Yeah, but it was rare, dude. And were they dropping key passes? No. No. Lenny says the Marx Brothers were before my time. I was watching Thundercats and playing with my Transformers during their playing days, so I'll never claim I saw them play. And that's why you can't make the comparison. So, in all fairness, we're all idiots for being fans of this joke of a franchise. Well, no, because I've been a fan for a long time, and it was a great franchise. You know what I'm saying? It would be bad of me as a fan that I enjoyed the great moments, and now because they never get over the hump, okay, now I'm going to leave them, and I'm not going to be a Dolphins fan anymore. No, dude. No, it's like, hey, it's like marriage. You know, I married my wife through thick and thin now. I was thin, I got thick. Now I'm trying to get thin again. See, she didn't dump me. She hung in there with my fat ass. You get through thick and thin, bro. She should have discarded me, but she didn't. Amazing. Mace, thank you, sir. Big O show Paul Warfield. End of discussion. Yeah, I mean, anybody that wants to go with Paul Warfield, I'm never going to argue with them. You know what I'm saying? Frankie Fresco, thank you for the super chat. If Tyreek or Waddle had Marino throwing the football in the red zone, I think those guys would deliver outside the red zone. I can agree. Drop balls have nothing to do with Marino, bro. By the way, Marino would have fired it in there. I don't know. Tua throws the most catchable ball out there, bro. You know? I don't know. Those guys might struggle with Marino. Marino might throw it too hard for their little hands. Clayton is one of my favorite players ever. I was a young kid, and Marion and the Marx Brothers are the reason I'm a fan today. Oh, Marino is what you mean, not Marion. Okay. What else do we have? Big O, it's like Dan Marino for me, the greatest, even without the ring. Yeah, me too. I just know that we didn't do enough around Dan. So it was, you were asking him in today's world, they would be killing Dan Marino, bro. Just because he didn't win it. But they don't really look at the big picture and really look at the game of football as a team game. And to this day, we still have people that are unappreciative of Marino And they think somehow it was his fault. Furthest thing from the truth. It's just you didn't give him the line that Greasy had. You didn't give him the running game that Greasy had, and you didn't give him the defense that Greasy had. There's your problem. The left side of the line was fine, but not the entire line, whereas Greasy had the entire line. And he had a Hall of Fame caliber center throughout his entire career pretty much, whereas Marino only had it for a few years with Stevenson, and then Stevenson got injured, and then Marino never had the same dominance in the middle again. Tim Ruddy was a solid player, but not Dwight Stevenson, not Jim Langer. Not at that level. He was a solid football player. Jim Langer was special. Stevenson was a complete freak. That is the greatest center I have ever seen in my entire life. Dan and Stevenson, wow. Best ever at those positions, man. Wow. That's some special people, man. Big O, Alex Van Halen did the Brothers book signing yesterday in New York City. Are you ordering a copy? No, sir, I am not. He says he's not done playing. I saw that. Mace is back. It's the curse of Don Shula, Big O. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but something's keeping us down for a long time, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Something's keeping us down in a big time way. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me Hill and Waddle wouldn't drop the Rockets from Marino? They dropped pillows. LOL. Who says that, B? Somebody that didn't watch Marino throw. Oh, man. Hey, let's get to a little musicians. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation also. And Rise Taylor, thank you, sir. Appreciate you with the donation. Thank you, my man. Very kind of you. Let me see what Rise put here. Let me see. I don't know why it's having trouble. Here it is. There we go. We got it finally. If Tua doesn't get hurt, McDaniel would still been the same garbage coach the last 4 games. Only difference is we would be 5-1, and the narrative around this team is different. Also, when Tua plays, he can install a mentally and discipline into install a mentally and discipline into the team that McDaniel can't. Well, we hope. You know what I'm saying, Rise? We hope that the team has, but Tua has to play with more discipline too. He can't force the football downfield when he shouldn't be forcing it. You know what I'm saying? So he has to do his part in all of this. Let's see, man. Let's hope so. Again, he is not the end-all be-all. He's not the cure for this thing. So don't treat him that way, because I think you're going to sorely be disappointed when it's all said and done because of everything else that's going on around him and stuff that he cannot control. So I would pump the brakes, as they say. All right, let's get to music and entertainment news. All right, let's start off with musicians celebrating birthdays today on October 23rd. Let's see. Roberto Trujillo, bassist, Suicidal Tendencies, Infectious Grooves, Black Label Society, and of course, joined Metallica in 2003. Also was part of Ozzy Osbourne's band. born in 1964 on this date. Happy birthday to Mr. Trujillo. Weird Al Yankovic, celebrating a birthday today, born in 1959. Kelly Marie, It Feels Like I'm in Love, born in 1957. The song written by Ray Dorset of Mungo Jerry. Kelly Marie sung it back in the 80s. She was born in 1957. Dwight Yoakam, country singer. Happy birthday to him. Born in 1956. Michael Burston, guitarist with Motorhead from 84 to 95, passed away at the age of 61 following heart complications. In 2011, he was born on this date in 49. Rest in peace. Let's see. Greg Ridley, bassist with Spooky Tooth and founding member of Humble Pie, born in 1943. Those are musicians celebrating birthdays today. Now let's go with birthdays for other famous folk. Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile guy or actor, I don't know, whichever one. 48 years old. Pelé was born on this date in 1940. We lost him in 2022. Margaret Qualley, TV actress. She is 30 years old. Emily Clark, TV actress. She is 38. Nick Boza, football player, is 27 years old. Some guy named Miguel, R&B singer. I don't know who he is. But anybody with one name, I figure is kind of famous. So what the hell, maybe just because I don't know him. Anybody out there? Can you back it up? Miguel, R&B singer, is 39. Is he famous? LeVar Ball, entrepreneur, 57 years old today. Also celebrating birthdays today is, let's see, Martin Luther King III, 67 years old. Johnny Carson, born on this date in 25. We lost him in 2005. Alvaro Morata, soccer players, 32. And that is it. Those are your birthdays today. Sean, do you have any wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, we do. Twins, Don and Ron Harris, turned 64. Tony Kazina turns 54. Laya Valkyria, she turns 28. And Mela is Money, Carmella, she turns 37. Those are your birthdays for October 23rd, 2024.
All right. Why October 23 matters in rock history. We start off a little music history. We do have some breaking news for the Dolphins. We'll give it to you in a second. Today on October 23rd, 1976, Chicago started a 2-week run at the top of the singles charts with If You Leave Me Now, You'll Take Away the Biggest Part of Me. Ooh, now, baby, please don't go. In 76, Led Zeppelin made their U.S. television debut on Don Keshner's rock concert. Tonight, we will have the band Led Zeppelin with the new album Led Zeppelin 4, which they played Black Dog and Dazed and Confused for so long. It's not true. In 95, Def Leppard got a place in the Guinness Book of World Records by playing 3 gigs in 3 continents in 24 hours, performing in Tangier, Morocco, London, England, and Vancouver, Canada. In 89, Nirvana played their first ever European show when they appeared at Northeast England's Riverside Club, kicking off a 36-date European tour. In 2001, Bush released her album Golden State. The commercially disappointing set would be the band's last record for 10 years. And that's what happened today in Musica history. All right. By the way, Hailstorm has announced a couple of dates. Hard Rock Live in Biloxi on January 17th and January 19th in Pensacola at the Vinyl Music Hall. And I got to tell you something, Dougie Fresh, Victoria, if you're listening, if you're watching, January 19th, Pensacola. I love Hailstorm. She never comes here. Never. But I could go up there with the wife for a couple of days and go see both concerts on the 17th and the 19th because Biloxi's right there. The Hard Rock would be cool to go. And then go over to Pensacola. Maybe I visit you guys if I can drag the wife out of work. She hates taking days off. So the Dolphins have made two moves. They have signed QB CJ Beathard and wide receiver Tarek Black to the practice squad. They have released tight end Hayden Villarucci from the practice squad. So, Fiorucci. He is gone. All right. Chase one says, I definitely said Hill was the best Finns receiver I've seen. I've never compared him to the Marks brothers because I've never seen them. But you're right. The most yards doesn't make them the best. I was dumb. Yeah, you're not dumb. You're a prisoner of the moment. That's all. It happens to all of us, dude. Every one of us get caught up in one moment or another of something going on with some of our teams, and we just get crazy. And we get excited because we love them, and we get on board, and we think they're going to be the second coming, and it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I took the Dolphins this week. I thought they would win. What can I tell you? I thought plus 4 points was like, okay, I like them this week. And how'd that work out? So I'm an idiot too. Jameis Winston will start this week for the Browns. Good for him, bro. He deserves enough. He has waited long enough. Okay. All right. He's waited long enough. Good for him. See if he's learned anything from it. He's got a boatload of talent, bro. Give him one more chance. Maybe Jameis Winston figures it out. Who knows? But he's got a lot of ability. Big O, is that Bobby Beathard's nephew? I'm not sure. I have no idea. All I know is he isn't the answer, and he's not saving the Dolphins. That's all I can tell you. CJ Beathard is whatever, dude. You know? So it's the silliness with Snoop Huntley that some of you got on. And again, that, talk about that. There you go. Prisoner of the moment, all that. Those are fans that just were getting excited for no reason at all. Snoop Huntley was on somebody's practice squad. And did you watch him? He's a mediocre quarterback, bro. He's not a passer. Give me a break, man. So it happens. And CJ is not the answer either. He's not doing anything for the Dolphins. Okay. All right, we're out of here. We thank you. Stay tuned. Coming up will be the Crypto Bro Show. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We thank, of course, Ira Winderman. If you missed that interview, go back and check it out. Or I'm sure Sean will be putting it up right away, and you can check it out. We thank Ira. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that masters this entire platform. We shall see you. And by the way, if you made a donation, Cash App or Venmo, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you send in a super chat, thank you also. We appreciate you immensely. If you visit our sponsors, if you hit the like button, please, however it is you support our show every day, we thank you for it. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. And we will see some of you in just a few minutes with the Crypto Bro Show.